Michael Davis here to complain about shit and then get called out for making false complaints. Happens to me all the time. And then apparently happens on other videos all the time, like Game Rings and them being a console peasant making shit up apparently, even though no, they're not. I mean, I don't know, that guy is kind of weird. And somewhat idiotic. Not as idiotic as Carl Lucas. Marvel is stuck in my head. Carl Lucas is Luke Cage's original name. The Amazing Lucas, as he calls himself. I don't want to say an idiot. That's rude. And I don't think he actually believes the things he's saying, but I've seen some shit that he said, and I'm calling him out right now. Just so I can remember to stay away from those videos, because I always get lured back into those, and then I get pissed off. So, I mean, I have no hatred towards this guy. I'm just saying, he made a video about, like, if Captain Marvel fails, it's the end of the MCU. And I'm like, really? Is it, though? One bad movie, the end of an entire cinematic universe. That would be the worst domino effect in the history of ever. The MCU is going to live on. I mean, Arrow has had, like, 2 bad seasons. Flash has had 1 really bad and 1 average. And then Supergirl has had mostly bad, I'll admit. And here recently, Legends is the worst thing ever. So, honestly, if they are still around, with the exception of Arrow, which is getting canceled for unrelated reasons. Well, it's not getting canceled, it's getting ended. There's a difference. That Arrow is over for completely different reasons. I'm just saying, those are still around. The MCU is going to live on. Now, if Captain Marvel fails, yeah, that could lead to a downward slope for the MCU, but they'll pick themselves back up. And honestly, is it going to end? Like Amazing Lucas said, is it going to end because Captain Marvel sucked? Well, actually, Captain Marvel was pretty good. And even if it wasn't, we have Thor. And Thor 2, we have the first Captain America movie, which by most people, they say it's a shitty movie, but I like it. I also like the first Thor movie, so I'm not really a good judge of character. But I mean, I think the first Thor movie is good, and I think Captain America, the first Avenger, is amazing. So, there's a difference there. And Captain Marvel was amazing. I'm starting to think that maybe giving it a 10 out of 10 was a bit extreme, though. I was just going off, like, the pure emotions that I was feeling right at the time. That was an hour after I saw the movie that I posted that review. But anyways, I'm going to say 8 out of 10, honestly. Back to what I was talking about. People say that the Reverse Flash timeline doesn't make any sense. Matt Letcher even posted like a video, like, what was it, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, something like that. He posted a video to that, or on there, and it's like, so here's the Reverse Flash's timeline. And then, at one point, I haven't watched the video in a while, but at one point I remember him saying, okay, so over here, this makes sense, you know, the timeline remnant thing. But then over here, we have a bunch of scribbly lines, and we don't know what that means. At least that's what I gleaned from it. So, yeah, I'll be honest, the Reverse Flash timeline doesn't make any sense. But people say it never made sense. Wrong. Completely wrong. So, okay, so maybe this is not how it works in real life, but they gave an explanation that I understand perfectly. I know what it means. I know that maybe it doesn't make sense in the context of the real world, but in this world, I can get behind it. Okay? So we have the Reverse Flash from Season 1. You know, after he killed Barry's mother, he killed Harrison Wells, took his identity, da-da-da-da-da. You guys have seen Season 1, so the rest of that is fairly common knowledge. People don't seem to understand why Matt Letcher and Tom Cavanaugh look different, though, so I had to explain that part. Again, I'm going to get called out for making shit up, but whatever. And then we have, in Season 2, the return of the Reverse Flash. Harry Wells is just super smart. He's like, okay, so here's our world. here's the one that this guy is from, and here's the one that the original is from, and it's like over here, and there's a timeline remnant, da 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 da. Actually, I'll let the show explain itself real quick.
Eddie Thawne died, so Eobard Thawne should have been erased out of existence, right?
Not necessarily. This is possible Eobard was in the Speed Force, protecting him like a bomb shelter, keeping him alive in his timeline intact. It's what's known as a timeline remnant.
What now?
Here, let me show you. This is now. Here. Today. This is the time Thawne comes from. This is the moment you all erased him from existence, but since Thawne is from the future, this is where his timeline begins. That's why he's still alive. This Thawne has not yet traveled back in time to kill Barry's mother. He's here now in this time period for the first time. Timeline remnant. Explains why nothing.
See, I can get behind that explanation. But it's later on where they just said, screw it, we want to keep the Reverse Flash around. This doesn't make any sense. We're doing it anyways. And I just made gestures to the wall. I meant to make gestures to the phone, but then I just decided, instead of doing this, I'm gonna do. So, shut the hell up, you stupid dog. Like, damn, she's been barking all day. I'm fine with her barking every now and then. Get her point across. But she just barks at me, jumps up on the couch, barks at me again, jumps down from the couch. I open the back door. Nothing works. So I'm just gonna say, shut the hell up, you stupid dog. That's what I'm gonna say. She's not stupid. I love her very much. That's what I'm gonna say. Granny gets on my case when I do that, when I say that, and I'm like, shut the hell up. Doesn't matter though. Yet, by the way, I yell at the dog for barking. And then Granny's like, you'll be fine. But if the cat so much as meows for a split second, she'll be like, do you not hear these damn cats meowing? And I'm like, and so the other day, she just did that again. And I started barking at her, and you're like, why are you acting like Jess? What does that have to do with anything? And I'm like, okay. Like, I actually started barking at her. And I got Jess barking, and she's like, it's okay, sweetie. And I'm like, oh my god. She was pissing me off. Anyways, side tangent. So the Reverse Flash's timeline there, it makes perfect sense in the world that this is. But what doesn't make sense is everything afterwards. So, we have him appearing in Crisis on Earth X. And so, Earth X doesn't have a whole lot to do with Flashpoint, so again, we can go with the timeline remnant thing. Or maybe this guy was on Earth 2. Or Earth X, I guess. I don't know what he's doing on Earth X, though, specifically, but Earth 2 makes sense, because it makes sense to me, okay? Earth X doesn't really make sense. Yeah, he was there for a second, but I watched Freedom Fighters The Ray, and he was not on Earth X, let me tell you. Good show, though. Good show. Set within the Arrowverse, but it's an animated series, and it's kind of cool. It's more of a mini-series, though. Don't expect a sequel. I don't. But it's got all the actors in the cast of the Arrowverse and whatever. You even see the Green Arrow every now and then. They also had, Bliss Streak Flash or something? I can't remember what they called him. I just call him Nazi Flash. He's obviously not married to Iris West for Nazi reasons, so we don't see her around on Earth X. I mean, Felicity Smoke wasn't around on Earth X for a while because of Nazi reasons. I don't want to get demonetized. I mean, I can't monetize anyways, so I guess I'm permanently demonetized, but, I'm just gonna say Nazi reasons instead of saying the actual reason. Anyways. That's a good... Oh, wait, can I get demonetized for saying Nazi too much? Anyways. So... Reverse Flash, obviously, he's been hanging out, he's been around. People are like, oh no, it's a plot hole because he's still Harrison Wells at this moment, and it's like... Or he still looks like Harrison Wells, and it's like, is that a plot hole? Everyone remembers, like, I was watching Eric Reloaded, or I think is what he calls himself. But he's like, So this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, everyone still remembers him being Harrison Wells, and now he has Harrison Wells' face, but that obviously didn't happen because of Flashpoint, and it's like, yeah, or he just replicated it and did exactly what he was going to do anyways. If everyone remembers it, he is Harrison Wells' face, and he actually has his face. How is this a plot hole? He just probably did it all over again. That's not a plot hole. He's just repeating his previous actions, which he had no idea he did, so they wouldn't be previous actions. He'd just be doing this for the first time. It's not hard to understand. I don't know why you can't, but I mean, I'm not calling him an idiot. I don't think he is. I think he had a lapse in judgment or anything. I have no ill will. I'm just critiquing what someone said, okay? I'm not, like, calling anyone an idiot. I guess I kind of was when I said it wasn't hard to understand, but that's not what I meant. I watch his videos all the time. He's really cool. I would watch his videos more frequently, but he has a weird posting schedule. Like, he blames the YouTube algorithm, which I completely understand. I've been there before. I mean, my video of Injustice 2 Mobile fighting Sindel or whatever, that's only just now circulating. It's been a while. So, I mean, I'm there. But, you know, I'm just saying, this is not really a plot hole. The only thing that does bother me, though, is he just shouldn't exist. Because Eddie is still dead. So that version should just not exist, right? Or wait, I'm confused again. Scratch it, it just doesn't make sense. I was going to make this video just explaining everything. No, we have a bunch of scribbly lines over here and we don't know what that means, okay? Here is what we've been doing, you know. We understand that, but scribbly lines.